Right now we are next to the Sea of Galilee where Jesus gave his famous Sermon on the Mount. Now this is the longest recorded sermon of Jesus in the New Testament. To summarize the sermon, we can see that Jesus told us that even though we might face persecution here on earth and might go through difficulties and trials, we still have something to look forward to, and that is God's kingdom. Jesus also held us as Christians to a higher moral standard than the rest of the world. He said that we must give where others would take. We must love where others would hate. And we must be selfless where others would be selfish. And these were perfectly embodied by him on the cross. This is the place where Jesus multiplied the loaves of bread and the fish. Now what is amazing about the story is that this young boy gave everything he had to Christ. And we must do the exact same thing with our lives. We must give everything to Christ, our whole lives, so that Jesus can do amazing things in us and through us. Now the Bible says that to live is Christ. So we must give everything we have, our whole lives, to Christ. We are standing here at the Sea of Galilee where it is believed that Jesus told his disciples to throw the net on the other side of the boat so that they can catch fish. Now it is also believed that on this side of the Sea of Galilee where we are standing, there were Jewish cities, and on the other side of the Sea of Galilee, there were 10 pagan cities. Now what is significant about Jesus telling his disciples to throw the net on the other side is that they needed to throw their net on the side of the pagan cities to catch the fish. Now Jesus is telling them that he doesn't just want people to believe in him who are Jewish, but he also wants pagan people to believe in him because the gospel and salvation is for everyone. Many things happened here at the Sea of Galilee, but today we want to focus on when Peter took a leap of faith, where he stepped out of the boat and started walking on water. But as soon as he started to look to the waters and the storm and took his focus off of Jesus, that's when he began to sink. Now the core message of this passage is that we must keep our eyes on Jesus. Once we remove our sight from and focus on all the distractions and all the temptation and all the problems around us, that is when we will start to sink in life. A perfect reminder of us that we should keep our eyes on Jesus was when Paul and Silas were in prison. Even though they were in the prison, they praised Jesus. Why? Because their eyes were focused on Jesus. We must remember that only Jesus can give eternal peace, eternal joy, eternal salvation, and eternal fulfillment. One day there on the Sea of Galilee, there was a massive storm. The disciples were frightened. They woke Jesus and told him that they were about to die. They were so scared and they asked him how he could be sleeping in the storm when they were about to die. Jesus then stood up and he calmed the storm. We must remember that once we accept Jesus into our lives, he will be with us every step of the way. When things get difficult, we don't need to be anxious because we have Jesus Christ right there with us. Just like Jesus was in that boat with the disciples, they didn't have to worry because Jesus was in there with them. It's the same with our lives. When we have Jesus in our boats or in our lives, we don't have to worry that we won't make it through the storms that come in our lives.